lovely people out there in Buckeye Nation land. Welcome to the OHIO podcast. Thursday night call-in show. We're going to have I got a couple topics we need to explore. Of course, the phone lines are open. As always, give us a nice little ringy-dingy 567-483-1999. Tell me all you've heard and seen, as John Kennedy likes to say. Awesome. The Doodah Man became a member today. The Doodah Man, an official OHIO podcast pod squad member. Do me a big favor, Doodah Man. Send me an email. Let me know who you are. You can send me an email at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. After 1 month, upon your second installment of membership, you will receive a official membership t-shirt. So, Doodah Man, do me a big favor. Send me that email, theohiopodcast@gmail.com. Everybody in the chat, everybody, wish my lovely, beautiful bride, Sarah, a happy birthday. That's right, the pod mother's birthday is today. That's right, everybody. The pod mother, I won't tell you her age. I'll just say she's older than me currently. But it is her birthday today. So shout out to my lovely wife, her birthday today. We took a nice little car ride today in the convertible before the show tonight. So any super chats tonight, wishing her a happy birthday. Her husband would appreciate that. All right, guys. Hey, Rocky Mountain Buckeye, man. Been a while since I've seen you in the chat, brother. Good to see you tonight, man. All right, two topics we're going to explore tonight, and then we're going to go straight to the phone calls. Number one is the following. How sick and tired are you about Fox Big Noon Kickoff stealing the best games from Ohio State at Ohio Stadium when they should be prime time games? That's what I want to know from you tonight when you call in. How sick and tired of you about that? You all know my feelings. I did a video yesterday about this. It's going to eventually start hurting recruiting. It absolutely is going to start hurting recruiting. It is so much more difficult for a high school athlete who plays on Friday night to fly across the country and get to Ohio Stadium for a noon game without being completely worn out from the fact that they played the night before and probably jumped on a plane and flew that night to get to Columbus, Ohio. So, need to know what you think about that. And the Ohio State women's basketball coach, Kevin McGuff, was pulled over last week for drunk driving. And I want to know from you guys, what do you think the punishment should be for a head coach of any college sports team, college program, for his first offense or her first offense of drunk driving? I want to know what you think when you call in tonight. So 2 topics. Number one, how sick and tired of you are of Fox Big Noon Kickoff stealing what should be our primetime games? And number 2, what should be the punishment for a coach who's pulled over for drunk driving for his or her first offense? I need to know what you all think tonight when we call in. So that being said, let's jump to the calls, all right? Calling in for his 68th time, adding to his lead. He's got takes. He's got plenty of humor. He even has, shall we say, some fire for the team up north. He's calling from the 330. You all know him as Tyler. I know him as a wrench. He's also my mod. What's going on this evening, Tyler?
I'm great. I'm great, Eric.
What's happening, man? Tell me what's the news, brother.
You know, Eric, I just been waking up every day with a bigger smile on my face.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've been waking up with a bigger smile on my face every day because I know it's one day closer to June 6th and June 7th.
I figured you would be. So tell me, brother, I got to ask you, how sick and tired are you are you with the Fox Big Noon kickoff stealing what should be our primetime games at Ohio Stadium?
Oh, and let's also not forget the fact that, did you see on Twitter, Eric, that we made a legislation, a petition
Yeah.
to stop?
Well, at least we know our government officials here in the state of Ohio love the Buckeyes, right? I mean, they might they might not be getting much done on the governmental side of things, but hey, at least they love Ohio State.
I mean, the lieutenant governor was the head coach of Ohio State at one point.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah, yeah, that's true. You know, we all love sweater vests, man. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe he's in the ear of the legislation there and up there at the Capitol building. That's a possibility.
But to, with all these big noon kickoffs, like, I understand, like, we're the biggest money draw, Eric. I
Hmm.
understand it. But here's my biggest pet peeve with it is we don't know what's in the contract. So we could argue till the cows come home about how we don't want big noon kickoff, but until we actually see what's in the actual contract, like, we're our hands are tied because once you sign that, and this is not an Ohio State problem. What I've also come to realize too today, this is not an Ohio State problem, Eric. This is a Big Ten problem from Kevin Warren.
I mean, kinda, yeah. I don't blame Kevin Warren for going after the big bucks with when it came to trying to position the conference financially against the SEC when it came to the big market in the television contracts. Obviously, Fox had an existing relationship with the Big Ten. CBS and NBC were the new guys on the block with the conference. But Tyler, I got to be honest with you, man. Um, I would love to see CBS and NBC kind of come to the plate a little stronger with a better financial deal, just to up the ante and get more money into our pockets. Number one, but number two,
Mm-hmm.
to get Ohio State some better games on prime time. I get why Fox went with the whole big noon kickoff thing. It means a lot to them, obviously. They're trying to compete, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna make the noon game our our best game." And I get it. I understand why they're doing it, right, from a marketing standpoint, and it's worked to a degree. But at
Yeah.
some point, you've got to be willing to say, we can't always put Ohio State on every time they have a big game because it is unfair to Ohio State when it comes to recruiting. That is the God's honest truth. And at some point, the athletic director, Ross Bjork, and Ryan Day are going to have to go to the new commissioner of this conference and say, look, you're going to have to tell Fox Ohio State can only play 2 big noon kickoff games each year, right? You just that's it.
Yep.
2. Same for Penn State. Same. You have to share the wealth here because what happens is every one of these teams in the conference are getting the same amount in that paycheck, but it's Ohio State that's
Mm-hmm.
carrying all the weight.
And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, Eric, because you know that, like, so let's say, for instance, Ohio State was in the SEC. Do you think that, I know this would not happen if Ohio State was in the SEC
No, of course it wouldn't.
because all the primetime games would be distributed everywhere. So why particularly is Fox the if ESPN is doing the exact opposite and all other teams are getting like under ESPN and they choose not just one particular team for all their big games that they're airing.
Right. Well, one might argue that the SEC has more big teams to choose from. One might make that argument, but I would push back and say, oh, the Big Ten has as many, but here's the difference: ours are spread out over 3 time zones now. You have Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State on the Eastern time zone, right? You've got you now have Nebraska, Iowa, and well, I guess Wisconsin. We'll throw them in this argument as well. At whatever time zone it is beside the Eastern time zone, I don't even remember. It's not Mountain, whatever that is.
It's Central.
Central, thank you. And then 2 more time zones later, out on the West Coast of Pacific time zone, you've got Oregon, USC, and Washington. So, and they're not going to be playing big noon kickoffs. So that's part of the problem. Okay, that's part of the problem. But I get what you're saying, Tyler. It's infuriating, is what it is. It's frustrating. Let me ask you this question: what do you think the punishment should be for a coach who gets caught drunk driving if it is his or her first offense?
Well, from my experience at my old job, Eric, I'm going to say based off of my experience with the Army. So with the Army, if somebody gets caught drinking and driving, your career's dead. It's dead. You're done. So hey, you're putting people's lives at risk. You're a liability on the highway or wherever. You could be parked in the parking lot. You could be passed out drunk. Don't matter. You're in a motor vehicle and you're intoxicated. To me, you deserve to be fired. It's not. It's one of those things that it's no 3 strikes you're out, and no, this is a 1 strike you're out. In my opinion, they're putting people's lives at risk.
Okay, fair enough, man. I'm not going to argue with you on it. I mean, Kevin McGuff, the Ohio State women's head basketball coach. I don't know if you saw the video. He looked rather gruff, if you will, at least rough. And Steelers reminded all of you to smash that like button. And Coach McGuff, he looked smashed, and the whole. Dude couldn't even figure out how to roll his window down. That's how out of it he was. So there's definitely going to be some punishment. It'll be very interesting to see what Ohio State brings down for that punishment for him. But I'll say this: look at Coach Huggins. How many times did that guy get caught drinking and driving? I mean, eventually he got fired for it, but it was at least 3 or 4. So obviously, step one, you need to get him help. Step one is to get help. You obviously have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a man, I had a little bit too much. I was buzz driving or whatever. And one tick over the legal limit or something. He was hammered. It was obviously a serious issue, and like the natural saying, it was embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
And here's why I also say I say he's fired, Eric. You have Lyft, you have Uber, you could have called someone, you could have done all kinds of things that's why I say it's a 1 strike you're out, because you have all these other. You could have called someone, you could have gotten Uber, you could have gotten Lyft, you could have. hell, you could have walked. You could have walked. It might have taken you forever to get to where you're going, but you might sober up on the way there.
Right. Right. All right, Tyler, what else you got for me this evening, brother?
I'll just say this, Eric. Have you noticed, Eric? Have you noticed on Twitter how Michigan fans now have gotten worse? With the whole nothing's happening.
I have not, but I avoid them like the plague. Um, it's just what I do. Um, I, I, I don't have good interactions with most of them. Let's put it to you that way. And um, ever since the game where I felt like I almost overstepped the bounds with one of them, I've just decided that for my own mental health and for the health of everyone around me, I should just avoid them. It's me being the bigger guy,
Because
Tyler.
for some reason, Eric, I can't explain it, but it's almost like they're lashing out more than they did previously because they know of what's to come.
Maybe that's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, it's a possibility, man.
And
I don't know.
honestly, it's getting quite ridiculous because I've been interacting with them all day just to point and laugh at them, and they are somehow thinking it's like they still have the gall to think that nothing's gonna happen, and it thinks that and like I understand their arrogance, but to this extent, it's getting quite ridiculous.
It is. And, only time will tell, Tyler, what's going to happen. Either either we're going to take a victory lap and they're going to play the victim card, or they're going to take a victory lap and there's going to be a lot of us who have egg on our face. Those are the only two outcomes, Tyler. Those are the only two outcomes. So just prepare yourself. We're either going to have egg on our face or we're going to be taking victory laps and they're going to play the victim card. Agree?
Oh, I agree completely. It's just they think that they. It just seems like Eric. They seem to think that it's impossible to have a civil argument with them lately.
100%, dude. It's impossible. Um, yeah, I try. I've tried before. There's very few of them that who I can have a civil conversation with. So I just don't anymore. Burks is literally the only one I can talk to. I have a good friend named Sean. I don't talk to him very often, but he's been on the show years and years ago. We would bring him on. I can speak with him usually, uh, but that's just because we grew up together. But that's it. Those are the only two that I really converse with. So it is what it is, man. All right, Tyler, we're gonna move on to the next caller, man. I want you to go ahead and get used to taking victory laps. You, my friend, have called in more than anybody else, 68 times to be exact. So, Tyler, the crown is yours, buddy.
I'll take that crown, Eric.
All right, buddy. Have a good evening. OH.
IO.
And we are off and running this evening, everybody. You know the drill by now. You all know what to do. You pick up your phone, you dial this number, you get in line, You talk to the Podfather, 567-483-1999. That's how you do it. It's that simple. You hear a beep. When you hear the beep, you're on live with us on the OHIO podcast, which is exactly what's going to happen for this next caller. We've given him the moniker of Dynamite David. That's who's calling in right now. He's calling in from the 931. What's going on this evening, David?
Podfather,
In the
thanks for having me on.
in the flesh, I'm
And
here. I am here.
the happy birthday to the pod mother.
Yes. Let me tell you something, buddy.
And
Let me tell you something.
congratulations on 4,000
Thank you.
subscribers.
Thank you. Yeah. Let me tell you something about the pod mother. I had a real wise man one time who said, if you treat her like a queen, she'll look like your daughter when you get older. And I have found that to be true.
Awesome.
She might be a few days older than me, but she looks like she's about 15 years younger than me.
Yeah, well, I noticed you're growing the beard back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm in favor of the beard, but whatever the pod mother says is what's going to happen with that.
Well, she likes the beard. She likes the beard. So what I did, I got my hair cut. See? And when I get my hair cut, and I like it high and tight. I've always liked my hair high and tight. And so when I do, I'll trim my beard to be the same length as the side of my head. It's what I do.
Okay, yeah. That's what I used to have. I had a beard until a month ago, and I shaved it off. I've been keeping it off this month, and I do the same thing. I always have short hair because, like Tyler, I was Army as well, so I got a high and tight right now. It's got a fresh one. Guess what?
Nice.
You know what? Guess where I'm at, brother?
The way you said that makes me think you're somewhere nice. Where are you at? Are you by the beach?
Brother, you will never find me on the beach.
Oh.
I can guarantee you will never find me any place with sand unless I'm lost or deceased.
Okay. Where are you at?
I am in the 513, brother.
Whoa! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Here we go. Here we go. What you doing?
And the weather is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sitting outside enjoying this. I'm not sweating down in my nether regions. And so let's talk about this big noon thing.
Yeah.
I caught your podcast on that the other day.
Yeah, let's do that. What do you think, man?
Sure.
What's your thoughts,
about
Dynamite David?
Now, my wife and my sister, they don't like the night games because my wife, she stays awake. She's gonna fall asleep during halftime, and she ain't gonna find. They're not gonna. There's no second half for her. But as far as the rest of us, those games, certain games, need to be on, and that Texas game should definitely be a night game, without a doubt.
100%.
And you're 100% right about the recruiting and kids not being able to get there. And it's not fair that Ohio State has to be the one that's always doing all the noon games.
100%. Ohio State is doing all the heavy lifting here for the conference when it comes to that contract with Fox. And let's just call it like it is, David. That's the truth. Ohio State is doing all the heavy lifting. And on top of that, you look at the four big games this year. I've labeled them the four big ones. Texas, Illinois, Penn State, and the team up north. Two of them are at home, two on the road. I almost guarantee the two at home will be big noon kickoff, and we know the one in Ann Arbor is already a big noon kickoff. So we already know that one.
Yep.
The only one that's in question is Champaign, Illinois. And you can't sit there and tell me you're going to make that one a 7:30 kick. That's unfair to Ohio State because advantage Illinois at that point if you're not going to give Ohio State any advantages. And I can almost guarantee you that the game in Seattle, Washington with the Huskies will be a 7:30 kick.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's going to be late. It'll be loud, and we need to start doing this stuff to our advantage. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I heard somebody brought up a good point. I can't remember whose podcast it was. Someone said, you know what? If they're going to continue to do this, why don't we just go independent?
Yeah.
You know what? Look at the money that Notre Dame made during their playoff run. They got to keep every dime of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know what? We could just do what Notre Dame used to do. We'll just schedule who we want out of the Big Ten. We'll schedule who we want out of the SEC. We'll schedule who we want out of the Big 12 or the ACC, and we'll just do our own thing, because there ain't going to be hardly a year that we're not going to be in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, especially they're going to go to 16 teams. Come on. When's the last time we weren't ranked inside the top 16 in recent history? Would have been what? 2011 and 2003 or 2004.
It's been a while.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
this
thing's
going to be 16. David, this thing's going to be 16 teams.
I think we were still. I think 2003 we were still. I don't know. I don't remember 2003 because I was in Iraq. Sorry. 2004 I think it was.
2003
we lost.
went.
I think we lost 3 games that year. We're still.
I think we were 10-2.
Were we 10-2 that year? I thought we lost 3, and then they brought in.
Let me look.
And I thought they brought in Troy after. It started with Zwick, and then they switched to Troy. But anyways,
that wasn't 2003 because 2003 we still had Craig Krenzel. 2003 we were 10-2.
Yep. So yeah, what 98% of the time we're going to be in it. I'm not going to cry over that.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry over that.
Yeah, you were off by 1 year. It was 2004. We lost 4 games in 2004.
Was it 4 games? Okay, I thought it was 3.
Yeah,
okay.
we went 8-4 in 2004. Good between your memory and mine, David. We figured it out.
Well, you know, dude, today was another. Hey, last week. Remember last week when I called and it was a bad day. I tell you what, this one had its ups and downs. This Thursday as well. It's wife got some bad news today on the way to the airport.
Oh man!
Vehicle had about 2 hours before it was supposed to leave work, got a flat tire. It's been a crazy one today. I'm operating on about 2 hours of sleep. I've been up for I don't know what since. What time is it now? It's after 8. Oh shoot, man! I think I've been up for 20, 30 hours, something like that. We got 2 hours sleep.
Brother.
So
what are you doing calling me, man?
I'm not going to fall asleep until the sun goes down now at this point.
I feel you.
I had to fly. I mean, have you ever flown on Frontier?
No.
Don't
do it?
No. They should rename it Barnstormer Airlines.
That bad, huh?
Got the worst doggone seats in there. I'd rather fly on a C-130 for 4 hours.
Woo!
They fly 2 hours, and it's torture.
My goodness.
But I digress.
Hey, I got a question for you, David.
Yeah.
What do you think the punishment should be for a coach in college sports, football or any sport? Pick one, doesn't matter. Who gets caught drinking and driving for the first time?
Sorry, I agree with Tyler. Fired. This
Okay.
ain't Michigan. This ain't scum. This is the Ohio State. We have standards. You could have called somebody. You could have chose not to do it. Number one. Number two, you could have called an Uber. You could have called another coach. There are no excuses. You're an adult. You're in charge of people that you are supposed to set an example to. Not to mention recruits that you want to bring in. You want we use this all the time. Who would send their kid to Michigan with all their problems? You want to send your kid? Would you want to send your daughter to Ohio State where a coach got a DUI? It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's not the 70s, and you got a cell phone. Call somebody. Plain and simple.
Okay. I'm just taking a consensus from the fan base, um, with kind of the feeling. Not trying to, I'm not trying to point the finger at Coach McGuff or anybody like that. I'm just trying to get the pulse of the what everybody says. So interesting. All right, brother. What else you got this evening for me?
I got one last thing.
All right, hit me.
Oh, wait.
Hi-yo!
Goodbye, Buckeye Nation.
Have a good one. Get some sleep, brother.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Great call from Dynamite David. Great call this evening from him. I got a couple comments starred that I'm going to address before I come to you, 385. You're next up. 385, you are next up, my man. All right, let me see here. I got them starred. Let me get to them real fast. Let's see. Lisa, when is your birthday, Eric? I am an Independence baby. I was born on July 5th, 1981. Almost was a fireworks baby. Growing up when I was a little kid, I thought all them fireworks were for my birthday, not the nation's birthday. So anyways, that's when my birthday is, July. So thank you everybody for wishing my lovely bride a happy birthday. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see here. A lot of you agree with Tyler and David that you think the coach should be fired based off the comments here I'm getting in the chat. Interesting. All right, let's go to our next call. Calling from the 18th time. He is famous. He is a Buckeye holding it strong out there in the Rockies. You know who this guy is. I'm talking to Joel Rocky Mountain Buckeye. What's happening, my brother?
It is good to be back, Eric.
How you been? Where you been?
Oh man, I have just been very busy recently with life, with um, school stuff, work. I recently started my own podcast with one of my buddies, not sports related or anything, just something else. He wanted me to join him on. We actually recorded an episode tonight, so just been busy. But I was like, I have to make an appearance for my guy Eric.
Dude, tell me about this podcast, man. I love it when people get behind the microphone, man. I love that. Tell me about it, if you're able to.
Oh well, it's just yeah. I mean, it's just a religious podcast called "Hear Him, Heal You." We just talk about Jesus Christ, how He heals us, and how we can draw closer to Him and find peace through Him, right? Because there's so many people in this world that just have so much contention and hatred, and so we just want to talk about how you can find healing through the ultimate healer, Christ.
Love it, dude. I love that. Do me a big favor. When you're done with this phone call, I want you to go to the chat and drop a link to it for everybody if you have a page to share with everybody or a channel, okay?
Okay.
You
Appreciate it.
always
But
you
hey, I think
you will have my permission to always do that, my friend. I appreciate you.
all right, thank you, Eric. Well, uh, getting on with this whole Texas noon game thing, this is a load of crap. I can't fathom why the Big Ten wants to just give an advantage to our rival conference, right? It's just ridiculous to me. I mean, this is one of the biggest games that we're going to have. This is a rematch from the playoffs. There is no reason this should not be a night game. I mean, it's really nice that we got all these nice LEDs put in the stadium so we can have a good show for Grambling State. But come on, like, what are we doing?
Exactly. Exactly. At this point, Ross Bjork, I think Ross Bjork understands more than Gene Smith the weight that Ohio State actually has behind it. And I am sure he's going to be making some phone calls that says, dude, we are done carrying the weight for this conference all the time. We're done. Everybody else needs to step up a little bit here. Okay? Penn State's supposed to be the best team in the conference this year. If you listen to the experts, right? If Penn State's the best team in this conference, maybe they should play like 12 big noon games in a row, like we have had to. Okay? Like it's time for some other teams to step up. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. And we know the truth is it's not about who's the best, right? It's about who brings in the most eyes, and Ohio State does that in the Big Ten. You know, we draw the most amount of views, and that's what they really care about. But you know, I think that it was actually a really smart move getting Ross Bjork as the athletic director. And you know, I'm not a fan of the SEC, but I got to say they take football serious. So bringing in a guy like Ross Bjork, who has been in the SEC, he understands the importance of football to a program, to a fan base, and how to appease them. I think that was a good move, and I hope that they can work something out because I mean this is just getting ridiculous. I mean, I live out here in Utah, and I'm tired of rolling out of bed every Saturday morning and rushing to the TV and missing the first 5 minutes game because I sleep in till 10 a.m.
Yeah, I get you. It's crazy, and we have a lot of fans who live out on the West Coast, one more time zone from you, and they've had to watch like Lisa, for instance. Lisa, who's on our game watch, she's watching that game at 9 a.m. with us. Okay, um, if you've ever been to an Ohio State game that's at noon, if you're going to run a tailgate, if you're going to tailgate, you're going to go out there and have a good time before the game, you're getting up at 4 a.m. and you're rushing to the stadium. You're setting up your tailgate, and then if you're going to go into the stadium, you're only getting the tailgate for a couple hours, and then it's game time. So what's nice about the noon game is you have time to get home and watch the rest of the college football day. I get that. That is one thing that's nice about it. But those games should be Grambling, Ohio, Rutgers, Minnesota, Purdue. Those should be the noon games, guys. Texas and Penn State. Those should be 7:30 games. I think we all can agree on that.
Amen.
Joel, let me ask you another question. If you're the athletic director of Ohio State and one of your coaches in one of your programs gets pulled over for drunk driving and looks like a fool, what do you do?
Dude, at Ohio State, I don't know, but over at Georgia, I'm giving him a full scholarship to come play football with the rest of our drunk driving team.
I wondered if someone was going to take this down to Athens, Georgia. Congratulations, Joel. You're the first one on the line to say, well, this guy would fit perfectly with the athletic department in Athens, Georgia. Well done.
I tell you what, it needs to hire Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State to be his press secretary.
Okay.
If you remember that situation with Ollie Gordon and and Mike Gundy basically saying we've all drink and drive thousands of times.
Yeah, I remember that. But
Yeah.
hey, remember, Gundy's a man. He's 40.
Yeah, you know, I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, I think as a coach, you have an obligation to be an example, not only to your players but you know you represent your school, you represent a community now. You don't just represent yourself, and it reflects poorly on the school. It reflects poorly on your team. And I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Like everyone else has said, I mean, it's 2025. We all have cell phones, friends, or family members, something, or Uber, right, to come get us and take us, you know, wherever we need to go. But I mean, I just think it's irresponsible, and I don't think you should have someone who is irresponsible leading a major athletic program or coaching a major athletic team in a major program. So, I mean, I agree. I think he's got to go. I mean, you got to get a bad apple out before he spoils the rest of them.
Yeah, and it's not like Ross doesn't have plenty of coaches to choose from already on that staff. Katie Smith is there. She could take over that program today if he wanted her to. So you know, something to think about. Very interesting. So um, yeah, it's a consensus among most of the people that probably shouldn't return as head coach at Ohio State. Be very interesting what Ross Bjork does here. So far, there's been nothing, no comments made other than Ohio State says they are aware of the situation and they are monitoring. Um, they are monitoring it closely from the law's perspective. So we shall see what happens there. All right, Joel. Big news about your podcast. That's fantastic. I love it, my man. Thank you for answering those two questions. What else you got on the plate tonight?
You know, it's really interesting. The more and more I've been keeping up. I've been watching your videos and everyone else, even though I've been busy. I just put them in on the background at work. Um, but I'm just really excited for this year to see, you know, how this team's going to bounce back and reload after winning a national championship. And I'm really excited to see who's going to break out, who's going to be. I'm excited for some of the transfer portal additions we've had. Um, but I mean, at first I thought, okay, this is great. You know, we won a natty, but next year we're losing all this talent. You know, I'm just bracing myself for 9-3. Uh, but at the same time, I could see us just as easily going, you know, 11-1 or even 12-0 through a regular season. Just with the amount of talent we've been bringing in and the amount of work that I've seen these coaches putting in and what, you know, we've heard from the players about the coaches, it seems that everything is, it felt like, wow, we lost a coordinator, we lost another coordinator, and then we lose all this, and we have a lot of new guys coming in, but it just feels like that culture at Ohio State has remained, that brotherhood, that focus on Christ, and I think that's what's gonna propel us to success once again. So other than that, I don't have anything else besides an OH.
IO. Thank you for the phone call, Joel. God bless you, my brother. Good luck on your podcast, and let me know when you guys post some videos. I'd love to watch, my man.
Thank you much. Bye.
Bye. Man, we are 3 for 3 tonight on excellent, excellent phone calls, everybody. All right, Bobby Mack, great question. Talking about McGuff, did he get convicted of DUI or just charged? What percent did he blow? He was charged. He did not blow a percentage because he refused the breathalyzer. So the facts are that he was seen by the cop running into the curb multiple times, driving up on his neighbor's lawn and into his own lawn where the car was parked in his front yard. The police officer stopped, went over, asked him to roll the window down. He was so wasted, he couldn't find the button to roll the window down. And obviously the officer, you know, knew he was drunk. I mean, it was obvious, but he refused to take a breathalyzer, and then he was arrested for drunk driving. So he's only been charged as of this time, from what I know. And I did. Someone told me one time that if you get pulled over for drunk driving, which will never happen for me in my life, um, to refuse the breathalyzer. Do not do it. This was a lawyer that was informing me of this. So interesting, interesting perspective there. So we'll see if that makes a difference or not. I don't know. But anyways, good question, Bobby Mack. All right, moving along. Here we go. So this next caller, he's right up there with Tyler. He's been calling since the beginning. Now, Tyler's got him beat by about 12 phone calls total. But this man also is running one of the hottest, newest podcasts in the Buckeye podosphere. Of course, I'm talking about my man, the Wrench himself. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, first of all, I just want to, wish Sarah a very happy 28th birthday, and I hope she has an amazing evening. I hope the day's been great for her. She deserves it.
Well, Tyler, Sean. Let me say this, Sean. If it's her 28th birthday, that would have meant I married her when she was 18.
I
I don't know about that one, brother. But I get you. I get you.
I tell you what, this big noon kickoff crap's got to go. I think Ohio State needs to flex their muscles a little bit and just tell them, we'll do a couple of them, but you can't have Texas. I mean, it's bad enough we're never going to play Michigan at night. That's always got to be at noon.
If I was Ohio State, Sean, and I'd be saying right now to Fox, you want the game every year, which is at noon. Awesome. Here are the 3 or 4 games. Here, if we've got 7 home games, here are the 2 or 3 home games that you can't have. Here, you can have the rest. You want Grambling, and you want Ohio, and you want Minnesota at noon. You can have those at noon. But Texas and Penn State, you don't get those, Fox. Those aren't yours. That's what I would be doing. I would be putting my foot down on this.
With the defending national champions, we're coming back first week. First game, boom. We should be coming out at night. It should be a celebration. I mean, not at noon. It'll be so hot. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's just the atmosphere at night. That game deserves a night game. I mean, that deserves to be a night game of any game on the schedule. Penn State's always a good night game too, but they just need to quit it because I mean we're the ones carrying the conference right now when it comes to the ratings.
Oh,
because Michigan's going down. I mean Oregon, all those people. I mean if they play a noon game, then people are gonna have to get up at freaking like 7. Like 7 o'clock to watch it. There's like a 3-hour time difference out there.
Yeah, it's a massive time difference out there, and well, for noon, because it's a 9 o'clock. They're 3 hours behind us, so for noon it's 9 a.m. their time. But Oregon, USC, Washington, and UCLA are never going to play the big noon kickoff game. They're never going to kick off at 9 a.m. So that it's never going to happen.
Do you think they'll play that? They could play on. Oh, they're probably never going to play the first game on the road. So you're right.
Yeah, they'll
probably never play.
They'll play a big noon game, but it'll be here on the East Coast or in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so, now their internal clock might be a disadvantage for the players because their internal clock trying to play, a 9 a.m. according to their internal clock, even though it's 12 noon here in Columbus, Ohio. But the point I'm saying is they'll never have to host one. They're never going to host a home game at 9 a.m. And so it's
that's not fair to the other. it's just not fair to everybody else.
Right. And I get what Big Ten's the initial concept of, hey, we're going to bring in 4 West Coast teams because we're going to have games from noon till 10 p.m. at night, baby. We're gonna have Big Ten all day long. I get why they're doing it. It's good to have that from a marketing perspective, but it's unfair to then say, hey, Ohio State, you're going to have to carry the weight for everybody else by playing at noon every week. It's just unfair.
Well, the thing is Big Ten is, from coast to coast. I mean, or from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. I mean, why not give like Indiana, Illinois, the team on the upswing, that everybody's excited about, that they can make a jump. Why not give them a lot of big noon games? Get them, some publicity. Let some of these other teams get some publicity and play the.
You want to know why,
But
Sean?
the thing is, they won't get the ratings.
Bingo, you nailed it. Because Indiana, Illinois is not going to pull a number anywhere close to Ohio State and name it. It would I would guarantee this. I bet you Ohio State versus Grambling State will pull a bigger number than Indiana versus Illinois.
I could see that. For sure, I could see that because we have the biggest fan base and the best fan base in the world. So, I mean, and they know that Ohio State fans aren't going to miss their team playing, and no matter what time it is, they're gonna come out and they're gonna support their team and they're gonna watch.
Yep.
It just sucks that it's not a night game. I mean, they're in the driver's seat right now. I'd like to see them flex their muscles and just say, we're not going to do it. We'll go to ABC or ESPN or one of these other stations are going to pay them a heck of a lot of money to get that game. So it's not like you're going to be missing out on a big payday.
Well, well, exactly. But the way the current contracts are written, Sean, is Fox gets first pick the majority of the time from week to week because they paid the most money in the most recent television contracts. And so because of that, Fox has already said, hey, we want Ohio State, Michigan. We want Ohio State versus Texas. We want Ohio State versus Penn State. We want Ohio State versus Illinois. Those are what's going to happen. Hopefully, NBC and CBS can get I would love for NBC to get Penn State versus Ohio State because then that means it's a 7:30 game. And it wasn't that long ago, Sean, that Ohio State versus Penn State was the last Saturday in October every year, and it was always like the Halloween night game, man. Remember that?
Yep.
Those
it was
games
a great game
were
too.
awesome.
There's all those whiteouts. I mean,
yeah, they were. It was the whiteout every year. Yeah.
Yep.
It was awesome.
It was awesome until they blocked that field goal and we lost. But I mean,
but
we'll regress about that. But it was awesome atmosphere.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was standing. Yeah, obviously.
You brought up such a great point too, Eric. It is going to hurt recruiting because these kids don't want to go to noon games because, like you said, especially someone from like California or on the West Coast that would come here to want to watch a game. I mean, one, they're going to want to watch one of the big games. Two, they're not going to make it in time for the game to start. Or if they do, they're going to be so freaking tired, jet lagged, and be up basically all night. I mean, it just stinks that that's happening to us. But I think, Ross Bjork and the president need to put their foot down and say, we want to, do these big noon kickoffs, but we need to have a couple of these bigger games be night games. And if Fox wants to put it on as a night game, let them. But heck with this big noon kickoff crap. Do it. Why not do it prime time? It's not like you're not going to make big numbers doing it prime time. You probably make more than at noon, you'd think.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good point. All right, Sean, let me ask you a question. You're the athletic director. You're Ross Bjork. Maybe Ross Bjork, you're Ross Bjork's assistant. That'd be a pretty good job, too. What are you doing with this situation? First time a coach who gets pulled over for drunk driving first time. What's your suggestion for us, Bjork?
Usually I would say give someone a second chance, but these days, you can't do that. Not with the DUI. One, these guys are supposed to be setting an example for these kids. Two, you put people's lives in danger. Three, there's no excuse for having a DUI anymore with all the Ubers, the ride services that you can take. You're the freaking head coach of the Ohio State basketball team. You're telling me you couldn't there's not a phone call you can make to have a GA pick you up, or assistant coach, a family member, somebody else pick you up? I mean, come on, man, you're putting people's lives at risk, and that's very irresponsible, and that's just not acceptable. I mean, I don't know legally if he claims that he has an addiction problem that they can fire him right away. I don't know if there's a legal, that's maybe why they might not why he hasn't been fired yet. But honestly, I mean, what wasn't Gary Moeller drunk when they fired him at Michigan? Wasn't he drunk in a drive-thru, and that's why they got rid of him?
I think that sounds familiar. Maybe I don't have that information off the top of my head, Sean. But I look at Bobby Huggins, man. That guy's pulled
Yeah.
over so many times and was given so many more opportunities until finally it was like, okay, the guy definitely has a serious issue. I don't know that Coach McGuff has a serious issue. I don't know that. So if he does, he needs help first and foremost. And
Yeah.
even if he doesn't have a
I mean,
serious
I don't want to
issue,
sound
still needs help because
sorry.
you can't do that.
I mean, I feel bad if he does have a serious drinking problem, because he does need help. But you're the face of the program, the women's basketball program. Even if you're the face of the baseball program, the tennis program, any of the program, you're the head coach. You're supposed to be setting an example for these kids. And I mean, I have a daughter. I would not want to send my daughter to someone who's that irresponsible and be like, here, I trust my kid to you to not only mentor her, but to watch out for her. If this is the example you're setting, I don't want my daughter around you.
100%.
So I think he needs to go.
Donald and
Honestly, I
Karen
think
Rosbach. When I drank, I did the watermelon crawl. If you drink, don't drive. Do the watermelon crawl. That's, who was that? Who sang that?
everybody
Who sang that '90s country song?
every
I can't.
everybody knows everybody. Everybody calls your friend.
That's right.
You don't need an invitation.
Chestnut?
Come on in.
Was it Chestnut? I think it was. Yeah, the name Chestnut
The
comes
Kenny
to mind.
Chestnut? Was that his name?
I don't
Was it
think
Kenny
it's, I don't think it
Chestnut?
was Kenny. What was his first name? Anyway,
Mark Chestnut.
Mark Chestnut.
Was it Mark Chestnut?
I think someone in the yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was. Lacey says it was Tracy Bird. I don't think it was Tracy Bird. I think it was Chestnut. I
It
don't know.
might have
Could be
been.
wrong.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been Tracy Bird. Now
Was
that you
it?
said. Now to think of it, I think it might have been.
Okay.
Well, she does live in farm country, so if anybody know country music, it's definitely got to be Lacey. You know,
Okay.
she's a Hoosier living out
Lacey might like my hat tonight.
farmland.
I'm wearing that red Manchuna backer hat. All right. All right. All right. Here's the deal, brother. What else you got on your plate, man? We got a full bank of calls I need to run to, Sean. What else you got, brother?
Hey, I just want to say thanks for having me on. You're killing it like usual, buddy. Thanks for everything that you do for me and TG. Everything you, Chris, and Sarah do for us. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and get some other people on here and give them a chance to talk. So thanks, buddy.
All right. Have a good evening, my man.
You too.
OH.
I-O.
All right. Tracy Bird. Good call, Lacey. It was Tracy Bird. Props to you, girl. You knew it. I knew my wife would know that. She said Tracy Bird, one of the best. Oh, come on, Natural. I hate country, he says. Man, it's My roots, brother. It's my roots. All right. We have a first time caller, it looks like. It's been a while since we've had a first time caller. This will be fun. Let's see what we got here. 614. You're on the OHIO podcast. Who are we speaking with? (614). You're with us. Can you hear me? Nothing? Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. There we are. Who are we talking to?
What's up, E? This is Brandon.
What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm just chilling, cleaning off some of my shoes while I'm listening to your show, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Cleaning off some of your shoes. How many shoes you got?
Well, I sold a majority of mine earlier this year. I'm down to probably like 56.
56 pair of shoes?
Yeah, bro. I used to collect shoes back in the day.
My goodness, man. I got like 5 pair maybe. How many pair of shoes you need, brother?
What's up? Oh, I used to collect them. You know, I used to be a huge Jordans and foam posits guy. So I'm cleaning off some shoes to sell them because, funny enough, there's some limited edition foam posits that are Oregon related that I just sold to an Oregon fan for $1,200. So
man,
you can have them.
I'm in the wrong business if that's the case. My goodness.
Hell yeah.
All right, Brandon, what you got tonight, man? We're talking about big noon kickoff in Ohio State. We're talking about drunk driving and coaches. What do you want to chat about?
It's up to you, man. Like I said, I'm a first time caller. Like I said, I've been listening to your show probably for just about maybe a little over a month, probably after the national championship game.
Okay.
So whatever you want to talk about, man. You know, I'm from Columbus, so I'm a Reds fan, Cavs fan, Bengals fan, and obviously Ohio State fan. So whatever you want to talk about, bro.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's start with tonight's big topic, big noon kickoff, man, in Ohio State. What's your thoughts? Is it time that Ross Bjork kind of pull his weight here as athletic director of the Ohio State University and begin to push back on the Big Ten and the Fox Network and all these big noon kicks that happening in his shoe?
Well, I thought he said something like a few months ago on Twitter. Like he put out a statement talking about he was going to essentially, you know, pull his weight and try to get that, you know, resolved or like have all these games down, you know, put as night games. But I mean, I guess there's only so much you can really do, right? Especially when you have a contract in place. So maybe he was talking about like when we up for renewal, you know, like, hey, look, you can't be doing this. But dude, I went to college in San Francisco back in 2012, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, but I went out to school out there. And let me tell you, waking up hungover from the night before of my shenanigans and, you know, going down to the local bank to get coins for laundry and then rushing back up before 9 o'clock to do all this before 9 o'clock and watch a, you know, Ohio State game, that is tough. Yeah. So I can only imagine the normal, you know, residents out there, because a lot of people from Ohio or just Buckeye country moved to California. I found that out the good way. Yeah, I don't like noon games, at least for the marquee games, especially that has a lot of recruiting implications. But like they'll probably have that Grambling game that we play, which my mother graduated from Grambling. So I'll probably be at that game. They'll probably have that on Peacock at night.
Well, no, I'll tell you right now. I know the game that's going to be on Peacock. It'll be Ohio State at Purdue. And I'll tell you why. Purdue has played more on Peacock than any other school, including Notre Dame.
That is true. That is totally true. And then last time we played Purdue, we were on Peacock.
Exactly.
That was at Purdue, right?
Yep, you nailed it. Yep. They did it once, they'll do it again. You watch.
Well, yeah, so that probably will happen. But yeah, at the Texas game, I haven't gone to an Ohio State game since we played in the Big Ten championship back against Michigan State when we lost. That was the first time I went since I was a kid. I'm not I can't go to any Ohio State games, but I was thinking about going to the Texas game, especially if it was a night game. But now it's a day game. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's the first game of the year, so it's going to be lit as far as tailgate and everything like that. But I don't know. What you think about that?
I'm going regardless.
Yeah,
So
of course.
I'm going to the game. I usually go to about I used to go to almost all the home games back before the podcast took off and we started doing the live watches. This year, I know
Yeah,
for a fact I'm going to the Texas game. My wife and I usually try to go to one of the earlier games against a non-con opponent. That tickets are cheap, and
yeah,
we can go and have fun with such something we've done ever since we started dating. I also know that
yeah,
the Ohio
yeah.
State versus Michigan game this year, we're going to be doing a live watch party, so there'll be news about that. We're going to try to get as many people
Okay,
together. And it's going to be in Bucyrus, Ohio this year. That's the plan. And so
okay,
at a sports bar, pizza place, and there'll be more news on that. But those are the three games that I kind of won't be here on the OHL podcast watching the game with all of you. So um, that's
okay.
kind of just the plan here. But yeah, I'm going to the Texas game for sure. Probably going to go to one other one. And then we have been
Yeah,
invited as a podcast to go out to Champaign, Illinois to do a joint podcast with the
okay,
Keeping It Orange and Blue podcast guys. So we might be
okay.
taking a road trip
Cool.
this year, which is kind of fun as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, that national championship run last season was magical. That's for sure. But yeah, I can't wait for this upcoming season for sure.
Do you think we
Especially
repeat?
with
Do you think we got it in us to repeat?
uh, I think it's gonna be tough, especially with us losing both offensive and defensive coordinators. Um, but and then we got we have a new quarterback with the break in. So I think, especially with the expanded playoffs, it's going to be it's definitely going to be interesting. That's for sure. I think we could still get in even if we lose like one or two games. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think we got a good chance. I think we'll know really about this team probably midway throughout the season.
Yeah, I think so. I have us going 10-2 right now. We'll
Oh,
see if I
okay,
change.
okay,
We'll see if I change my opinion by the start of the season when we do our preseason predictions. I look at this
okay,
team very similar to the 2001 team, which was C.J. Stroud's first year, and I think we're going to
okay,
see something kind of similar. That year we lost to Oregon at home. I kind of feel like we might lose the Texas game at home. And then we'll lose one more along the way. And I think that might actually be right now. I think that game is actually going to be at Illinois. That seems to be a sneaky
okay,
game where if we aren't on our A game, the Illini might, shock us. But that would mean we would beat Penn State at home, which I think James Franklin's going
okay.
to James Franklin himself. And it also means we go up into Ann Arbor and we
Exactly.
beat the Scum. And that also means we go 8 and
Oh
1
man.
in the Big 10, which might be good enough to get back to Indiana, to go back to Indianapolis and play for a Big 10 championship at 8 and 1, 10-2 overall. So we'll see. That's my early
Yeah.
prediction.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like Alex Martin says, 12-0, baby. That's what he's predicting.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
So what's your thought? What's your
Then
thoughts?
yeah, I
Okay, go ahead, Brandon. Sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh no, we about to bring up the McGuff.
Yeah, I
Oh
was. Yeah, what's your thoughts? What would you
yeah.
do?
Yeah. So I've lost two friends to drunk driving.
Mm.
One that was the driver, one that was hit by a drunk driver. Um, so I mean, obviously, yeah, you want the dude to get help, but you got to think about him losing recruits. Would you want your player, your daughter, to play for a coach that has, DUI issues? And like I said, at least that we're aware of, this is his first time that he's had a DUI. But I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm on the fence. Like, everybody deserves a second chance, but I guess I would say I would probably lean toward like what Tyler was saying earlier, and I probably would fire him because I guess also on top of that, the way the season ended the last few years wasn't really a good look, especially with the talent they had. So it would be one thing if maybe, obviously, winning kind of cloaks all, but I would say with the way the last few seasons won, especially, but on top of how, dangerous DUI is, I probably would say, I would fire him, to be honest.
Okay. Fair enough, my man. Yeah. All right, Brandon. Anything on your way out? Good first time call. That's really good, man. Any last thoughts, brother?
No, man. Just keep doing your thing. Say your wife a happy birthday, of course.
Will do.
Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, obviously. But other than that, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you in the chat.
Sounds good. OH.
IO.
All right. Every now and then in life, folks, you meet somebody who comes along and they just change the perspective of things for you. Such is the case with our next caller. He's known as the living legend around these parts. He used to be a man who would go up to Ann Arbor in the big house and was an usher up there until one day they told him he wasn't allowed to share the good news of the gospel anymore, and they kicked him out. And that person became known as the man who would run a mile backwards and is now singing the praises of Carmen, Ohio, and Hang On Snoopy. That's right. It is Larry, the living legend. Larry, welcome into the OHIO podcast tonight.
What's going on, Skipper?
Oh, buddy, it's going good now that you're calling in, man. How you been?
Hey, I ran my 3 miles a day and a mile backwards. I was thinking about you when I was running backwards.
That a boy, Ray. That's my man.
Well, I'm only doing it once a week right now because my back can't hold up, but I'm doing the best I can. For 76, that ain't too bad.
Nah.
Hey, by the way, I know you guys were talking about it a minute ago. There was a guy, and I liked him a lot, Gary Moeller.
Okay.
He did get nailed for drunk driving. And he was flirting with a girl in a bar, and they caught him for drunk driving to go with it, and they fired him on the spot. Bo Schembecker was mad about it. He was gone away on a vacation with his wife, so he couldn't stop it. But Gary Moeller died probably about 10 years ago of a heart attack. He was a real nice guy.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Ray. Appreciate that, man. So you're doing better. You got them shots. You're running backwards once a week. Things are going good for you, my man. How's the rest of the family treating you these days?
Well, a lot better than they did a few weeks ago. I'm hoping it gets better on that end, but I don't want to get into that. But
okay.
Hey, I'm trying to figure this out. The date on those hearings in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For the bullies.
Yep.
Somebody says it's the 5th and the 6th, and other people are telling me the 6th and the 7th.
Yeah.
I think the 6th and the 7th fall on a Saturday and Sunday. What day are they going to have those hearings? Is it going to be the 4th or 5th or what?
6th and 7th.
Okay, what days those fall on? Is that a Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, boy, you're making me pull open a calendar. Friday and a Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday and a Saturday.
Oh, Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
So are we going to, you think we're going to hear anything right away, or is
No.
it going to be another 30 days before they decide?
Ray, I don't know. I wish I did. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear anything. That would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, you think they'll string out the whole 30 days before they give him a final verdict?
Maybe. The
I
way
think
that
they got 30 to 45 days to make a ruling on it.
I
But
can't
get this,
imagine.
Rich Eisen, I cannot stand this guy. He says because the commissioner told them back when they won the national championship, you won it fair and square, they ought to put him on the stand. What's that got to do with all the cheating they did?
Nothing. When we had Miles on a Sunday night, I don't know if you got to listen to that show. Miles works for ESPN Radio in Lima, Ohio. And I asked Miles, I said, Miles, why is it that the national media seems to favor the team up north in this story? And he said to me, it's because there are a lot of executives and heads of whatever at these larger media companies who are graduates of Michigan. And so that is why you don't see them reporting on this as much as some of the other as like Ohio State media does or some of the other media. So I thought that was very interesting, and that was an interesting perspective. And he would know. He works in the radio industry for ESPN.
Eric, I call Paul Feinbaum show once in a while. He doesn't think they're going to do anything. ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN News. I cannot find anything that anybody talks about this except Buckeye Scoop.
Right.
And you guys.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
Go ahead.
It's going to be interesting, Ray, and like I told Tyler, one of two things are going to happen, Ray. Either the hammer's going to come down, and you're going to watch all these Michigan fans play the victim card. Oh, this is so unfair, and we didn't do anything wrong, and how could you do this to us? Or there's going to be a lot of Ohio State people with egg on their face. One of two things are going to happen. They both can't be true in this instance.
Well, I'm hoping they take away the national title and give them 2 or 3 years a bowl ban. But if I was leaning one way or the other, I'd probably say they'll let them keep the title and give them a 2 or 3 year bowl ban. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, listen.
What do you think, Eric? What do you think?
Ray, you're going to put me on the spot. I have from the beginning, I've had very little faith in the NCAA. What I want to see happen and what I think happen are two different things. If I was a betting man, I would say Michigan is going to come out of this thing with a slap on the wrist.
To the what?
With a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's what
I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong
I'm
too,
hoping
Ray.
you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong.
Because I'd be really frustrated, especially when he took 330. The offensive coordinator went to 330,000 athletes around the United States, and he was helping them win that national title that year. And he scammed people, trying to get all their privacy crap.
I know. It's hard to try to explain to somebody who has the mindset that everybody cheats, that what was done by Connor Stallions went above and beyond anything that had ever been done before in college football when it came to scouting opponents. And what kind of advantage did that have? I think it had a massive advantage. I think it had a huge advantage. But I'm also a Buckeye fan who watched Ohio State for the better part of 2 decades dominate that team and now have seen that team beat us 4 consecutive times in a row. So
I know.
my perspective might be slanted towards the scarlet and gray, to say the least.
Hey, are they making that Texas game a noon kickoff, or are they going to try to make it a night game?
Well, Fox owns the rights to the game. So we know that. Fox won the rights to that game. And that means, although Fox has not come out and announced it yet, it pretty much means that's going to be a noon kick, Ray. I can't imagine Fox winning the rights to that game and then saying, we'll put it on at 3:30. That's just not what Fox is going to do. They want to put their biggest games every week on at noon because of the big noon kickoff that they've been doing. And so, although it hasn't been officially announced yet, it's going to be a noon kick.
Well, Fox can't make it a night game.
No, they don't have Fox. I don't think Fox has the 7:30 time slot.
Oh,
I think Fox has a noon and a 3:30 time slot, if I'm not mistaken. And then they used to have
Hey, how are we doing recruiting?
Oh, we're doing really good. We're ranked 3rd overall nationally. USC's number 1, and we are number 3. I don't remember who number 2 is. Someone in the chat remind me who's
Probably
ranked number
Georgia.
2.
Probably Georgia.
But we're number 3. We're in on some pretty big guys in the top 100. A couple 5-star kids might recruit to come Buckeyes. So yeah, we're doing really good recruiting. Doing a lot better than Michigan is. They're 45th, Ray.
You know, I'd like to see them about 1,000.
Yeah, off the charts, huh? I got you, Ray. What would you do? Can I ask you a question, Ray? What would you do if one of the coaches got pulled over for drunk driving? What should be his punishment if it's the first time?
Well, you know, you'd like to give guy a chance. Has he got a clean record before this episode?
Yes.
I think I might give him one break on it, but I'd have to tell him, look, you got to get some help, and if you don't get help, you're probably gone.
It's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I know what you're saying. Ray, what else you got for us, brother?
Give him a chance.
Yep, I hear you. Yeah,
not much. It looks like it's gonna. Has it been warm up there?
Oh, today was gorgeous, Ray. Today was 82 degrees. Yeah. It was beautiful. Oh, so pretty.
You know what? We're in May and we're getting a long. I think we're in for a long hot summer, don't you?
I'm here for it, man. I don't care. Make it. Hey, listen, I'm all for the heat. I love warm summers, man. I love them.
Right, I do too. Hey, God bless you. OH.
I-O, Ray. Have a good one. He's here and gone that fast. Oh, Ray. Mac B brings up a good. Heartline was drunk. Got caught drunk driving. I think it was with an ATV. But, or was it a tractor? He was, as Steely said, he was tractor drunk. They think my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on. Well, we got all the good 90s country music coming out tonight. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. Oh, my goodness. Good night, Donald and Karen Rosbach. God bless you as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, let's head back to the phone lines. Oh, Nelly, here we go. Like I said at the beginning of the show, folks, there's only a couple of these guys who root for the maize and blue who I'm willing to talk to. Here's one of them. What's going on tonight, Burks?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, man. I just have, well, first of all, I just want to say you're doing really great work for 2nd and 7, I got to say. So take that membership that I got as a token of appreciation because I'm not going to lie, this is really important what you're doing with 2nd and 7. So, yeah.
Thank you, Burks. And it's something Chris and I we are so appreciative of that Ryan found us worthy to be associated with Second and Seven. He doesn't just let anybody into his inner sanctum, his inner circle. He only lets businesses and people in who promote and who he believes in. And so we are so appreciative that Ryan and Amy and all those good people over at Second and Seven believe in us and what we do here. And we're just so thankful that all of you folks, everybody in the chat, Burks, all of you believe in what we do, and we're willing to donate and make that book drive and fundraiser so successful this year. And I'm happy to report that little library on the east side of Delaware is being utilized. We have already had to restock it already. It's only been out there a month.
It's great, man. So I actually have a huge announcement to tell you the truth, like a huge one. But so yeah, so it's pretty big. And no, it has nothing to do with Caden the man. So I'll let you know. I'll tell you know.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I can explain my dad after I explain this. But I'm just gonna say it, man. But I'm done with the whole entire YouTube Michigan community. I'm done with it, man. I can't do it anymore. They make some of the most delusional takes, Eric, and I'm actually so like I don't know what to say, man. Like Jesus Christ on Sunday, Eric, right? There's a Michigan show. I'm not going to say the name. You actually, but most people know who has the show. I respect the guy. All right, he actually came on your show. Let's just say that.
I know who you're talking about.
Like doing the yeah. So his show, man, like it's just crazy. He find like some of the dumbest Michigan people come on this show, man, and they all talk over each other, dude. It's like a zoo, man. And like I can't believe what the hell they were saying, man. Like they were saying the dumbest takes, dude. That if as a Michigan, if this is to be played on Twitter or like maybe like on YouTube, it went viral. My God, man, our Michigan fan base would be so dumb. I did not sign up to, be part of this community of these dumb fans. I'm sorry, I can't do it, dude. They were saying, Eric, they were saying stuff like, "Oh, Jeremiah Smith's not special." Like, I can't believe it, dude. Like, they actually said it. Oh, we have to wait to see if he's special or not. What do you mean he's not special, man? He had 15 touchdowns his true freshman year, 1,300 yards, right? He literally had the exact same stats almost as Braylon Edwards, who, by the way, was a first-round receiver for Michigan. And they're saying he's not special, man? Like, I just, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. He had a special season. Now, I would say, things can happen to people to cause them to not be special anymore. Injuries, they get caught up in the wrong things. Happens all the time. But to sit there and say that Jeremiah Smith isn't special would mean something would have to happen. That young man, for what he achieved as an 18-year-old against 21 and 22-year-old men, should tell you he's going to be incredibly special. Jeremiah Smith was on the same team as Emeka Egbuka Burks, who was drafted, 19th overall in the NFL draft this past year? And you're going to tell me that Jeremiah Smith isn't more gifted than Emeka Egbuka is?
Yeah, it's like having 9 Caden the man. That's literally what it was. Like, literally. I can't say. So you guys have 1 Caden the man, right? We have not. Well, actually, I don't even know if he is in the OSU, to tell you the truth, man. He became a Miami just like on Monday, right? I don't know if you saw that, but he was like his parents.
Okay, wait, hold time out. What? Hold off on Caden the man. We're gonna get there. But okay, so Jeremiah Smith was one thing. What else?
Blake Corum is better than Ashton Gunty. Like I couldn't believe what I'm hearing, dude. Like Blake Corum is better than Ashton Genty.
Wow. Okay. What was the
And then another one.
What was
all
the
right?
reasoning?
Let me tell you, this one's that. Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind that? Like you have to have like a hot take is one. Okay, I get it. If like, hey, here's a hot take, right? But give me some thought behind your take, right? Like if you're going to have a perspective, if you're going to have an other side of the argument. Chris and I do this all the time. We will purposely take the other side of the argument with each other to try to build our own arguments better because we need to have evidence for what we're thinking, right? So was there any evidence behind it, or was it just a crazy hot take?
Well, they're just saying if you won a national championship and Ashton Genty didn't, then that's the reason. When Ashton Genty is arguably, probably, in my opinion, the greatest player ever not win a Heisman. And that's my opinion. But I truly feel like he's crazy. And the fact that he's drafted in the first round and Blake Corum was third round, man, come on, dude. You see, these are takes that I am disappointed. This is what my fan base is saying. Literally, I don't know what to say. And then the final one, Eric. Oh my God, this one is just I'm gonna have to agree on this, disagree on this, but saying that Michigan produces better running backs in the 21st century than Ohio State. Come on, come on. They just don't, man. How many second round running backs have you guys had in the 21st century? A lot, right? We only had one first round running back in the 21st century, one second round running back. That's it. Rest of our third, fourth, sixth, right? You guys had what? About 8 or 9 second round running backs, and then 2 first round running backs in the 21st century.
If you're doing
so it's just these type of stuff, I just lose brain cells. I literally deleted. I literally unsubscribed to every Michigan YouTube because I can't take it anymore, man. I don't want to be part in this damn community that makes delusional damn takes, man, because I get scarred that, they're becoming this one man, if you know who he is.
Yeah.
That's what they're becoming into,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go over them in my head real fast and see how many I can come up with. Beanie Wells. Let's see. We've got after Beanie Wells, Zeke Elliott, Dobbins, Travion Henderson, Q. There's 5. Who am I missing?
That Carlos first... Clyde or Hyde.
Oh, Carlos. Thank you. Hyde. There's 6.
Hyde. Yeah.
I don't think anybody else was first or second round. Jonathan Wells went in the NFL. Boom Herron. But I don't think they were first or second round. So yeah, 6. We had 6 running backs first or second round draft.
And then Travion Henderson and Judkins.
Yeah, Q. Yeah,
Q. Judkins.
Yeah, I counted them. Yep, I got them.
Oh, okay.
Trey Sermon was not first or second round. So
he was third round. Yeah.
Hey, all right. Well, good point. All right, brother. All right, let's get into it. Caden called last week from Miami, Florida. I did not see. Did he post something from Florida?
No, man, he did not, man. I don't know. But I'll say this, man. It seems like he's chill with me right now. So if he's chill with me, man, I don't, there's no need to, get after him. But if he wants to do another unsanctioned show, man, Jesus Christ, bro, Eric, you made me laugh when you were like, I got to leave, guys. I actually have a real show, so... And it was just me and Caden, bro. It was just the funniest thing ever, man. I started laughing, dude.
Oh, hey, did you
Dude,
you hear the song I played last week that I made of John Kennedy?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, come on, bro. That's freaking hilarious. I sent that to Kennedy. I sent that to him. He's got it. He's got the MP4 of that. Mark with Glasses made a video with it. It is so funny. Damn. But he won't play it. He won't play it. He's gonna do something with it, and I'm kind of afraid what he's gonna do, Burks. Like I think he's gonna retaliate with this with something on me. Oh
Did you
shoot!
hear about, dude? Did you hear about Mark Rogers getting pissed off at him? Like he told him to get the hell off his show, Kate and the Man.
Yeah, I
Oh
heard
my
about
God,
it.
bro.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Dude, and this is why, dude. This is why you need this 2nd and 7 is extremely important. I'm not gonna lie, Eric, because this country has a huge, like it has like we're a superpower, but man, there are so many areas that are just not educated, and a lot of these people they just don't have a great vocabulary. And so when Kate and the Man went on Mark Rogers' show, like I think a month back, he said my alma mater, Ohio State, and so John Kennedy was like, I did not know you went to Ohio State. He's like, oh no, I didn't take the college around. He didn't even know what alma mater meant. It was just, like I laughed so bloody hard, dude. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. We like that's what I'm saying, dude. The 2nd and 7 is super important because so many people do not have a vocabulary, man.
All right,
Oh my! And Mark Rogers said, "Go look in the dictionary for what it meant." Jesus Christ, man!
Burks. I got. Do you think his girlfriend's real or not?
No, hell no, bro, hell no. It's his diesel truck. I've been saying this. It's his diesel truck. Man.
That's his girlfriend. Is his diesel truck?
It has to be. And he's not even in Miami, Florida. He has to be in Miami, Ohio.
Oh,
Like I don't think he's in Florida. I'm sorry, dude.
He's down in Butler County, Ohio, at Miami of Ohio. Dude, I didn't
The
think about
university,
that.
area. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like. And listen, I don't know what his future is. He said he's gonna do a new channel, man. I don't know, but it seems that we don't have beef anymore. I gave him a lesson. He's not giving, problems to Mark Rogers, so that's great. He's not, giving problems to John Kennedy. That's great. So I think that, when I won the Unsanctioned show, he said, like, I won't be doing this stuff, but I can't. I'm not gonna trust him 100% just yet. But the whole debate was just, making him a better person. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop, causing problems with people who are, doing this for a living, hosting a show, and being like, just disrupting it. And I hope he gets it, the message, man. I understand he has some issues, but that's why I went there. And plus, my pride was on the line. Some people are saying, "Oh, Brooks is not going to show up." Oh, I had to show up then.
How many
Oh
emails did
God.
he send you with the link?
Yeah, man.
Oh, Burks. That's funny stuff, dude. Thank you for the phone call, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Take care, man. My man.
Have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, bro. Yep.
Oh, what a funny phone call. I tell you, man, I don't know what Caden's going to do. Dan the Man, as I was calling him last week. He didn't call in tonight. We'll see. He says in 2 weeks, in June, he's going to have a big announcement. He's going to start something new. We'll see. We'll see what he's got. I got to see proof of this girlfriend. I need to see a picture. I need some video proof. That's all I'm saying. I gotta see it. All right. Lisa asked a question. I started. Let me go back to it. Are you gonna do an Ohio State college huddle video? Great question, Lisa. And I'm sorry I got a cough all of a sudden. Great question. Let me answer that. So most of you, I'm sure all of you know, I started a second channel, College Huddle. That right there. If you don't mind, if you haven't already, all of you, please go and subscribe to the College Huddle. We were so close to 100 subscribers already. My goal is to get to 1,000 before the kickoff of the summer. Let me give you a little background of what the College Huddle is and where it came from and what the plan is. Okay, so the OHIO podcast, we used to be a part of a network called Big Banter. The idea behind Big Banter was to be a Barstool Sports of the Big Ten with podcasts. And unfortunately, um, it didn't go as planned because there was a podcast from Maryland called the Turtleheads that made trying to work with other podcasts almost impossible due to their attitude. They took the perspective of bantering to a personal level that was unacceptable many, many times. And myself, along with Dylan Kuhn and some of the other podcasters from the Purdue Boiler Express podcast, we got together along with JR and we decided we could do it better. And so we started the College Huddle in January of 2024. And I poured my heart and soul into recruiting. And we were able to recruit about 40, I think it was 49 podcasts in 4 months to join the College Huddle. And then it grew to about 70. And in the first year when we launched that football season in 2020, the 2024 football season. JR's decided to take his brand, the Big Ten Huddle, a different direction. And I asked JR if I could take over the College Huddle side of the YouTube things. I was already running the website and doing the recruiting. And he said, sure, go for it. And so I started the College Huddle YouTube channel. And the idea is for me to not only be able to express my views on college football beyond Ohio State, but I want to see the College Huddle succeed. I want to see it grow. It already currently is the largest independent podcasting community in the country. It's the largest one there is. We have 80 different podcasts from coast to coast who are all a part of this community. We collaborate with each other, we help each other out, we share ideas. John Kennedy's been a big part behind the scenes of helping us grow the community. And we're going to continue to do that. But I want to see it grow, the channel grow, because as the channel grows and gets bigger, that will help every single one of the podcasts that are a part of that community. Because if the College Huddle succeeds, everybody else is going to succeed as well. And so that is my goal. And the only way we're going to do that is to make it become profitable so that we can then spend that money that we make to market it. Every dime that is made through videos and collaborations on that YouTube channel will go right back in to the College Huddle to grow it. That is my entire emphasis of this. And so anything you can do to help out by sharing it, making sure you're subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it. So Lisa says, am I ever going to talk about Ohio State on it? Yes, I will. But here's how I'm going to do it. I've thought about this, Lisa, and I'm glad you asked this question. Everything I talk about Ohio State, I do on the OHIO podcast. It would make little sense for me to go to the College Huddle where I'm getting anywhere from 10 to 500 views to share something there that I could get a lot more views here, anywhere from 300 to 20,000 or more, depending on how many clicks the video gets. And so what I'm going to do, though, is I want to interview other Ohio State people on that channel and get their views. But I have to be careful to not just make it a second Ohio State channel. I want to make it a college football channel in general. So I'm going to bring on into the College Huddle when I interview somebody and want to talk Ohio State, it'll be another Ohio State podcaster is what I'm going to do. I want to be very neutral on the college huddle. I want to be I don't want my scarlet and gray colored glasses to always come through. I want to be able to look at college football through the eyes of a college football fan in general, not just a Buckeye fan. And so that's my perspective of the college huddle. Yeah, Mike B says, which one? Is it at College Huddle or the other podcast is at the College Huddle? Great question. Because, because there was already a College Huddle when I went to go start this channel. So it is the at College Huddle. At College Huddle. Great question. We currently have, I just went there to go double check, 96 subscribers, and there are 7 videos posted currently at College Huddle. The website is thecollegehuddle.com, and everything we post here at the OHIO podcast is also on thecollegehuddle.com, along with everybody else material as well. But if you go to YouTube, it's at College Huddle. Now, we also have a Twitter account, and I will go find that for you all real fast too right now. It's at College Huddle on Twitter. At College Huddle on Twitter. Okay, so I hope that answers your question and anybody else's question that they had with that. All right. Anything else this evening, ladies and gentlemen? Anything else? Throw it in the chat right now. I'm going to end the stream for the call-ins so I don't pay any more money on that end. Okay. Anything else in the chat? Let me look real fast, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Thank you, Mike B. He says he's subscribed. You have 97 now. Appreciate it. 3 away. We're 3 away. I actually have an interview with Moff from the Topper Talk podcast. That'll be coming up tomorrow. You'll remember we did a preview with Moff from Topper Talk when Ohio State played Western Kentucky a couple years ago. And so he was actually the first podcast to join us in the College Huddle. That was a group of 5 school, was Moff. So it's awesome. So yeah, love the support, everybody. Thank you so much this evening. Great chat. You guys were awesome tonight. Awesome phone calls this evening. We had a great time this evening. I'm going away for the weekend. My wife and I, it's my wife's birthday. So we're going to go celebrate. We're going camping this weekend. Going to have a good time camping this weekend. So I'm not sure how many videos I'll actually get to drop this weekend, if any at all. But Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, we have former Buckeye Alan DeGraffenreid is going to come on the show with us this Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. He's going to be the special guest. We got a great topic we're going to bring up. You all are going to love this topic. It's actually a topic that Corey picked. And so Corey's going to lead the topic discussion this evening. And then we're going to open it up for questions and let Alan give his story of how he went from being a soccer recruit to an NFL wide receiver at Ohio State. What an amazing story. Alan came to our tailgate for the spring game. Bobby Mack met him. Ryan Days Beard, who was there, he met him as well. You all are going to love him. So this Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, make sure you're here. You're going to love it. Thanks, everybody, for a great show this evening. We appreciate all of you. Remember, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH, sing Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart. Till next time, you all know what to do. Go Bucks.